Long night. Okay. Oh, what do we got this time? Coffee. Yeah. Last night's episode. And, I think I have something coming up here today. Do you just like live here by now?
We have a very large closet.
Were you in there the whole night?
Yes.
How was that?
Well, I was just hanging.
Just hanging?
Just hanging.
From the coat hangers?
Yeah.
Just kind of just
propped
up. Welcome back, everybody.
Hey! This is funny.
Yeah.
Hey, this is, what time is it, Jackson?
It's 10 o'clock in the morning.
Holy shit.
Well, almost 11, but, you know.
Yeah, we just had a little morning breakfast and
Yeah.
a coffee this time.
And so, yeah, instead of beer, we're drinking coffee.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, hey, it's drinking dried. We can decide on which stuff we're drinking.
Yeah, the
So
drink
we're
can
like,
be anything.
anything. It could be water.
Could be coffee.
Could be coffee. So, yeah, we're back at it again with another movie review. I would say that we're doing movie reviews because that's kind of what it is.
It's kind of what it always is, I guess.
Talk about the movies and what we like about it.
Yeah.
So, this time we're going to be doing The Wild Robot.
Ooga booga booga. That's not what robots sound like.
No, not really, fella. They go,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah, so we're doing Wild Robot, 2024 film, so literally last year. Pretty good coffee.
Oh, yeah. Home brewed.
Yes. Yeah, fantastic movie. Very, very good animated film. Do you remember watching it?
Yeah.
Like for the first time? We didn't ask that in the last episode.
Oh, watching it for the first time?
Yeah, watching it for the first time. Do you remember?
Oh, we kind of did that last time with How to Train Your Dragon. We were just
That's
about
true,
to see the
that's
movies.
true.
Yeah, so I mean, with this one in particular, I didn't see this one in theaters. I saw this one at home with my sister, and yeah, we were both crying. It's a
very emotional film.
very emotional film.
Yeah.
It feels really good.
Yeah.
It feels really good.
Yeah. And you know what? I forgot to put the light on, so you can keep talking.
So, me and my sister just in the living room watching the movie, and I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. It was kind of a sleeper for me. I was interested in it. I think I only watched it because I don't know if it was you guys, you and Karina, or somebody else, but they told me that was like a really good movie. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I forget if we told you about it or not. I forget, because we told a lot of people about it.
That's fair.
It's a really good movie, so...
Chances are I was probably in the room, so...
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Because, it was basically like the same thing for my wife and I, is that we just were like, oh, well, we heard about good things about, the Wild Robot, and we're like, sure, cool. And we watched the trailer, and I'm like, okay, animation's really, really cool. And then we watched the movie, and we're like, this is amazing.
I was very much interested once I heard that Pedro Pascal was going to be on there.
Yeah.
And then just the list of the cast. It's pretty star-studded cast we got going on here.
Speaking of the cast.
Yes. Segways.
Woo! The cast, I'll say the main cast of Wild Robot includes, Pedro Pascal as Fink the Fox.
Fink the Fox.
Kit Connor, who plays Bright Bill.
Hey.
Yeah, there you go. Mark Hamill is in it too, as Thorn, the big bear.
Big old bear.
Bill Nye, I always...
Bill Nye, dude, yeah.
Yeah, which I'm like, do I pronounce it as Nye, or I'm like, I
sure
don't know,
it's
I
Bill
feel
Nye.
like Nye.
I think it's Nye, yeah.
As Longneck.
Yeah.
So,
when I heard him in the movie, I was like, oh my god, Bill Nye!
What?
There were like, moments like that when you hear Mark Hamill and then Bill Nye, you're just like, oh shit, this is...
It was like, what? That's okay. I
been a fan.
don't know how they got them together, but man, it was awesome.
I feel like I've been a fan of Bill Nye since probably Underworld and Pirates.
Yeah,
those were kind of like the two big ones.
Which has been a while. So.
Oh, and Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah. Yeah. We also got Lupita Nyong'o as Roz, so obviously the main character.
She's a robot.
Her and Bright Bill, I guess.
Her, Bright Bill, and Fink are kind of like our main trio.
We also got Ving Rhames as Thunderbolt. You remember the?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I heard the
his-
Arby's guy.
his-
That's why I was like, "What the hell?"
Because like I was like, well, I know that, man.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, it's the we have the meats.
It's the Arby's, man.
But his voice is so like
Yeah.
recognizable.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
And I was just like, "Oh fuck, he's in a movie? Yeah, let's fucking
It
go!"
was so cool.
Badass bird.
What else we got? Matt Berry as Paddler.
Matt Berry.
Matt Berry.
Yeah, he was the beaver who was trying to knock down
Beaver.
the-
That's who it was.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I also think that's a good.
I've been
that's the
meaning
main
to
cast.
watch more Matt Berry things. I know that he's in this one show called What We Do in the Shadows, where he's like a vampire.
I heard about that. Yeah.
I've been meaning to check that out, and
Is that the comedy?
yeah, it's like the comedy.
Yeah.
one. Yeah. I think it's shot like kind of like Office, The Office style.
Oh,
I
nice.
think.
Yeah.
I think that's basically the premise.
So it's kind of like
Vampires.
making fun of like vampires, like what they do at
Yeah, what they
home
do
and stuff
what they do in the shadows.
in the shadows.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, oh, that actually sounds really great. And I
Yeah,
have
sounds
seen
funny.
Matt Berry in like a few little, like smaller roles and other things. I think it was also in Fallout.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I've been meaning to watch more of his stuff.
Hmm.
He seems like a really funny guy.
So I think the way that we do things is that we gonna summarize the movie the best that we can without literally doing the whole movie. So it's like, this happens and then whatever.
Yeah.
And then after that we talk about some trivia facts and then some just some comments and questions.
Yeah, we're gonna do
And
our
ratings.
best as we are kind of waking up, but that's what the coffee's for.
Yeah, exactly. So, do you remember the beginning of the movie? Of the
Space.
Wild
No. Yeah, we're kind of just like thrown into the middle of a storm, and then we kind of just see the aftermath of a bunch of Rosum units, these
From
robots
space.
from space, that are kind of like washing up on this island, and one in particular is fully intact. This Rosum essentially wakes up and is looking for its task, its directive. It's trying to accomplish its task and looking for any people on this island, and all it finds is a bunch of wild animals, and shenanigans start to ensue where
Man,
it's just
the robot gets tossed and turned
literally
so much.
it finds out that probably no people around, and it's trying to essentially reach out
Yeah.
after having a lot of run-ins with like all different kinds of creatures. There was like one incident with a skunk, one with a bear,
Yeah.
bunch of just asshole raccoons, as it's trying to do like it was like a return signal, I think, to its base of operations, I want to say.
Yeah.
It gets its stuff stolen by the raccoons, and then there's this whole scene of it trying to like
Chase down.
get its transmitter back and gets chased down, and then it like gets knocked around by the bear and over the side of this cliff, and it lands on a nest where we see a dead body of
Pretty much.
of a
bird.
bird of some kind, and she finds
Well, probably a goose, because
I would assume it's a
Yeah.
goose. Some type of goose. I don't know
Yeah.
what kind of goose Brightbill technically is. But she finds an egg.
Yeah.
And is kind of just like holding on to it, and then the egg starts to crack immediately. Because,
Yeah.
naturally, you find an egg, it's going to crack.
Yeah.
And
And then
that's when Brightbill
Pow.
comes out into the world.
Yeah.
There was also an incident with a fox, I believe.
Yeah. Basically, before Brightbill hatches, the fox is just like, oh, no, cool, egg. And he tries to, like, always steal
Again,
it from her.
barely 2 seconds of her holding onto this egg.
Yeah.
The fox just goes, ah!
Mine. Yeah,
Mine.
basically. And he's, like, always trying to, like, they have, like, a big
Chase sequence.
chase sequence, too, of just, like, oh, no, I'm going to keep the egg.
Mhm.
And then it's, like, obviously, Fink is trying to eat it.
Yeah, he's just trying to eat it. He's a fox.
Yeah. Well, Roz is trying to protect it. So,
Mhm.
just like a mother does. So, and
And
that's kind of where I think that's where you kind of first get that
the instance of like what this
tiny peek
movie's
of
going
like
to be.
what it's going to
Yeah.
be about. I feel like.
Yeah, and then she meets the mother of like 6.
Oh yeah, the
possums.
possums. Yeah, that's my wife's like favorite character.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's because it reminds her of her sister.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I did get that vibe
Because
from
she has
her
3
character.
kids.
She has 3
and-
kids. Yeah.
Yeah, but then in the movie she has like 7, because it's a possum family.
Yeah,
so
possum family, and essentially Roz is asking the possum. So after Roz has kind of like spent a lot of time in nature trying to understand the language of the animals, manages to communicate with them, and they're all kind of like running away from her, thinking she's a monster, this and that. Like, oh, this big giant thing, it's a monster.
Yeah.
Manages to like establish communication, and starts to talk with the creatures, and this mom in particular. She's like, hey, so what do I do with this? Basically,
Yeah, it's like
like,
a little
little. Is that one? Is that? And the possum's like, is that one yours?
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I kind of just found it. I'm like, oh well, these things tend to imprint on the first thing they see, so
Yeah.
all you gotta do is
Now you're its mother.
take care of
And
it
it's like, oh.
best you can.
And I think there's something where she says like to like protect Brightbill is her task.
Yeah,
And then that's when
and that's where it was like, I
Roz
have a
is like,
task now.
I got a task. Yes. And so yeah, that's basically where it all begins with the whole, I guess, motherhood thing that Roz has with Brightbill is because of that task that she has.
Mhm.
So.
And she's like, well, I don't really know how to raise a goose. Who knows anything about goose? There comes Fink.
Yeah.
The expert on gooses.
Expert on goose.
Yep. And we just get like a whole collage of scenes where Fink is basically saying all the things that you need to do to feed this baby goose, and he's not feeding it. He's just eating. He's getting free food.
He's
getting honey. He's getting like fish and clams and all like cooked up and
He
stuff.
has a hot tub.
He gets a hot tub. And then they're like, ugh, this thing is like, fine, let me feed the kid because it's like crying a lot. And he just like digs into the earth and like a couple of mealworms just come out.
It was crazy. It's like, oh yeah, food.
It's like,
Here it is.
There, yeah. Literally the whole day.
Yeah, pretty much. Because then he gets hit his belly just like
it's just
like that. Yeah. But then eventually they build a shelter because they're like, well, I mean, a kid needs a place to stay, to sleep, so that it's not
and they kind of establish what the story structure is going to be. So they need to raise the kid until fall, and they have to teach it to. You feed it, teach it to swim, and it has to learn how to fly by the fall.
Because of migration.
Because of the migration.
Yeah, that's true. And that's when they start building the shelter because they're like, okay, we need to like properly like grow like this goose up because because neither of them are geese. So.
Nope. So
basically, the whole, I guess, like the whole building shelter scene was really really cool too.
Yeah, it was really cool.
And then there's like a little guy. He says he has a little twig, and he says like, ding 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 ding, I need to help. Ding 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 ding, I need to help. Ding ding ding. And then Ro's just like.
Yes, you can help. You can help.
Go.
All right, go ahead. Just passing it over.
Yeah. I just thought
Making them feel like they're helpful.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, ultimately they do basically copy the design of the beaver's house.
And he took that personally.
And he took that very personally. But it's like a big dome, pretty much.
Now this beaver is kind of something of a social topic amongst the community of wild creatures here. He's trying to chew out the biggest tree in the forest here. And he's been working at it for a long time, and people just say like, this guy's crazy. He's just
fun of him,
yeah, basically you're making fun of him. And now he sees that Roz has stolen the design of one of his homes, so he takes that very personally. So out in the middle of a storm, he says that, hey, I know where you live, and I know where you guys stole my design.
Yeah.
And then he just like vanishes in lightning.
Yeah, just and he's gone. And it goes.
Like, all right, well, there goes my sleep for the night.
Yeah, basically.
So Finks tries to kind of like mellow out the night by telling a bedtime story.
Yeah.
And it's basically how Roz came down from like the stars when there was like this poor
space.
Little duck. Yes, space. It comes out into back to space. But he's basically giving Brightbill, at this point he's named, a bedtime story about how Roz came down from the stars to look after Brightbill when Brightbill didn't have any parents.
Yeah.
For reasons that they're not telling Brightbill right now, obviously. But yeah.
Is it because that I squashed his parents? And
he's like, not yet.
Not yet. Don't tell me.
Still too soon in the movie.
Because his family's expired. I think that's what she
Yeah,
says.
something like that, yeah.
Ooh, no. It is pretty sweet of Fink, though, because like then you also begin to start seeing that he actually does care about Bright Bill, and because I feel like, you know, over time through the movie, the audience gets revealed that he didn't grow up with that. So.
Yeah, he didn't really grow up with that. When they were talking about like things, was that a little bit later?
It was later in the film. That's what I'm saying. Later in the film.
But yeah, we're fast forward a little bit, like towards the end of like middle to end of summer.
Yeah.
Where Bright Bill is, just doing what he's seen growing up and is impersonating his mom and just being.
He's older now. So.
Yeah, he's a little older. Just being a goose with a bunch of robotic movement parts and just going.
Basically, not goose sounds.
Not goose sounds. And
then what does he run into?
More geese.
More geese. And he goes, "Oh, my people.
Would you like to initiate a friendship?"
Yeah. You're like a weirdo.
Basically gets bullied. Almost drowned, actually, because some of these geese are assholes.
Yeah, they really are.
It's kind of
they reminded me of like frat boys. Almost.
Yeah, it was kind of like frat boy type.
But yeah, they almost like drowned him because they were like, "Oh, look at your tiny wings," because he has like small wings.
Yeah,
and
he's essentially considered like a runt of the litter.
Yeah.
It was kind of a miracle that he survived as long as he has.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I think they kind of did they say something along the lines of that?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's like crazy how he's still alive.
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually he tries to get a friendship with some of the geese. Doesn't happen. He gets all frustrated and mad, and he's just like telling Roz that it's like, listen, like you're not like me, obviously, so you're not really my mom. And then Roz like, I guess gets hurt.
So that's actually kind of like, oh wow, what the hell?
Because the more time that she spends with Bright Bill, the more
she's
emotions.
Starting to develop emotions and feelings, and after kind of like taking a moment to ponder off on her own, she finds like a bunch of just salvaged parts of like Rosum units, and is like kind of like putting one together to kind of see where the direction of her life was gonna be.
Yeah. Because she stumbles across like a broken down Rosum unit.
Yeah. Calls it rummage. It calls it rummage.
Rummage.
Yeah.
Because then it does like the whole this is what the Rosum experience is all about, and then Roz is just like, okay, that's weird, but I'm not gonna do that though.
Yeah, like I have this task and I can't really.
Yeah,
I'm trying to see like where if I can like finish this task and then I can just go back to this, and then the rummage is just like, hey, let me just give you like a quick little diagnostic, see how you're doing. She's like, I feel totally fine. Yeah. And then the rummage is like, I mean, you shouldn't be feeling anything.
You shouldn't be feeling anything.
And then rummage is just like, oh, you've been overriding your code. You need to go back to the factory. You're wrong. You're not good. Yeah. You need to fix yourself.
Yeah. And she gives her a
transmitter.
Working transmitter.
Yeah.
And then that means Roz has to decide, like, okay, now I have this. Even though my task isn't completed, I still need to go back because something's wrong with me, basically. But then, puts it away.
Yeah. Like, Fink kind of has like a conversation with her about it.
I think so, because then he basically is like, you can't give up on Bright Bill because nobody likes him in the geese community.
And
he's basically shunned by community. That's literally those like Fink and Roz is all that he has.
Yeah, at least just like until we can help him learn how to fly.
Yeah, and so that's gonna be
like
next.
I was
objective.
like Roz, like, well, I mean, do you really think he's gonna want our help? He's like, he has to. We're his only friends.
Pretty much. Yeah. But and then it's it's during the training, because then they actually do start training.
Yeah.
And I think it's during that where the what's this called? Long neck. Was it Long Neck? Yeah. He comes up to them and he's just like, "Hey, I've been watching you guys for a while."
Bill Nye.
Bill Nye comes up. Yeah. Bill.
American or UK? Yeah.
But he basically comes up to them and was like, "Yeah, I've been watching you guys for a while." He's like, "Oh, I'm impressed, but you need to push him even further, harder, like all day."
He needs to be able to stay up in the air all day, never touching the ground.
Yeah. And so I was like, and so they start pushing him, and then
essentially give him like a week.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For the migration.
Yeah. And then gonna say, yeah, and then Bright Bill's like, well, he does go through the training, but he also sees how much effort that Roz and Fink are actually putting into
helping
just him.
Yeah, because
So
they also
it's
get him
like-
like a flight coach.
Yeah,
With Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt,
That
which was perfect. I think.
Yeah.
So
was dope.
it's like, okay, well, if the geese aren't willing to train him, who else? I'm like, oh, I don't know, maybe like the fastest bird around.
Around here.
Like that makes sense.
That might work, yeah.
And because of Bright Bill's size, it would only make sense for like a smaller bird
To actually teach him.
to teach him, because it's like it doesn't matter what do you say? It doesn't matter like what the wingspan.
Yeah.
I'm still the fastest bird around and goes like that.
Pretty much.
So Bright Bill gets that inspiration, and then
There's nothing that I can do that you can't do.
yeah, there you
Essentially.
go. That's the line. So and then there's the big motivational scene of them training together, and then they
Nice little
like
training montage. Yeah.
yeah, and then it's like, all right, time to leave. They go.
They're like, yeah, things like, so things are still weird between you and
Yeah.
Bright Bill. She's like, yep, still
Yes,
weird.
Still weird.
And as Longneck is kind of preparing the home migration, he starts to call out to Bright Bill, saying, like, all right, man, I need you to come fly by me on my left side, my right side, this side,
Yeah.
this side.
Yeah, like you're coming with me. Yeah.
And yeah, we need some younger wings, some young blood in my formation. It'd be nice to have you there.
Yeah.
And yeah, as everyone's starting to fly off and go off into the migration, Bright Bill and Roz are kind of still like in a weird space where they don't really say what they really want to say.
Yeah.
So Bright Bill just kind of like settles on like, hey, you want to give me a boost one last time?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we kind of have this like really cool shot of like Roz just kind of being like this little boost for Bright
Yeah.
Bill to just take off and go into formation.
One last little training, the finale,
Yeah.
just because also I think he's like, are you gonna be here
Mhm.
when I come back? And
She's
she
like,
goes, no. And he goes,
Okay.
but I do need a boost.
Yeah.
So and he goes, all right, and then they fly off. And
And just as he's like leaving, Roz kind of is like, "Oh, I want to see him one last time." And just as like right before she like lets out the transmitter, she's like, no, "I gotta go see him one more time."
Mhm.
And Longneck notices this, and they do like a little fly, like a pass,
Yeah.
seeing Roz one more time with Bright Bill, and
That's-
just like
yeah.
a small little goodbye.
Yeah,
And
it's nice.
yeah, now we're at the fall, and we're getting
Now
ready for
Roz is depressed now.
and now we're getting ready for winter.
And that
Roz is just like sitting there depressed, and Fink's like, well, I guess we can just go back to our lonely lives of survival and
solitude.
solitude and not having to rely on anybody or be relied upon. And
Yep.
yeah, and then you can just go back to that weird place that you're all about, and never see us again. It should be fine.
Just go.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
And they do actually
Yeah.
at first.
And then, as Roz is kind of like setting out that transmitter, Fink is going to his little burrow for the winter.
Yeah.
Turns out Roz has a change of heart.
Yeah.
She's like, you know what?
It's
I
like
need
a
to,
thought.
I need to make sure that he's like Bright Bill's okay,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be here for when he gets back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So now we're getting into the winter.
Now it's winter time where Fink returns to their dome house, and I think he wakes, or yeah, right.
Yeah, kinda
he
wakes up
wakes
Roz.
up Roz, and she's like, "Well, that's weird. Why weren't you in your
Oh.
home?" And he's like,
Right.
"Ha,
Right before
no."
that. Right before that, because we have Longneck and Bright Bill kind of like flying about, and they land in this secluded, like kind of well-maintained garden.
Was that before,
Right before.
the winter scene?
I think it was like right
Right?
before the
Okay, it
winter
was.
scene.
All right. I
'Cause
got
it
him. I
was-
got him like swapped around.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
too. So we kind of see a little bit of Bright Bill just trying to interact with more of the geese, and the geese are still just being assholes to him. They're like, everybody hate me. All right.
Yeah.
I keep on trying to like talk to people.
Yeah.
They still don't want to talk to me.
They still hate me.
They still hate me. And he sees like a Rosum unit,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, hey, Roz, is that you? What do you? I want to talk to you."
What?
And the Rosum unit is not his Rosum
Yeah,
unit,
not his.
not his mom.
Yeah.
And they start to send out alerts all across the. I want to say like a I don't know, like a plantation
Complex?
or complex. I don't know.
Because
But
there's
you know,
multiple Roz
multiple
units.
Roz units, and then like the humans are like, oh, there's a contamination alert.
Yeah.
Eradicate it.
Mhm.
And then all the geese start to fly about, and Longneck's like, all right, Brightbell, you take lead. I'm gonna buy everybody some time. We need to get out of this place. And that's when they start bringing in like the big like assault. Like, I don't know what you
For
want to call
birds.
it. Yeah.
I was like,
That's a little bit overkill.
a little bit.
Huge like assault like droids.
Yeah.
And they just start like blasting these
Yeah,
lasers at
I was
them.
like,
I was like, wow. All right. Yeah. Just no chill. No chill. And
Birds, get out the gun.
as they're like
what?
as they're like shooting at the migration of birds,
Yeah.
one of the droids like hits this big old hole.
Yeah. Oh yeah, through the ceiling part or whatever.
Yeah. And that's where Brightbill's like, okay, that's where we gotta go to escape.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we kind of get that like last scene of Brightbill like trying to fly, and like one of the droids is aiming at him, but then Longneck's kind of like providing distraction in front of it. And then that's when Roz wakes up.
Yeah. But
Remember? Nap.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it's wintertime.
Then it's the winter.
Yeah. Because I think we kind of get like the whole the message that Longneck is no longer
With
there.
us, yeah.
So because of the whole blast and whatever. But
Mm.
yeah. Because then it shifts over to the winter time where Fink is like, it's way too cold, and the snow just keeps piling up more and more and more and more. And so immediately Roz is like, that's terrible news. You stay here. I'm gonna get the rest because
He's like, do we have to?
yeah, basically he's like,
I hate them.
but
They're all assholes.
yeah, he just hates everybody.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, you know what?
Fine.
I know where everybody
Yeah.
lives. Which I'm like, okay, actually that makes sense. For like a fox to know, that would make sense. So they basically do go back, forth, and then you see that the storm keeps getting worse and worse.
She always spends like the whole day, I think.
I think so. I think it's during the night, I think.
And well into the night.
Is
yeah.
it day into night? Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's like the whole day.
The whole day.
The whole day. And then they're like, okay, we got everybody. And then Pink is like, we do, yeah. And then Roz is like, do we have everybody? He goes, oh, okay, maybe there's the bear.
Yeah, there's like, okay, I guess there's one more we can go get.
So yeah, Roz actually goes over, gets the bear, who's like this humongous grizzly bear. Boom, plops him down. Everybody freaks out.
Well, everybody's been freaking out.
Yeah, and even before that, they're all like fighting against each other. And it's like, well, what happened? It's like, well, you put a bunch of predators with their prey
in one small enclosed place.
Like, what do you expect was going to happen? But eventually, they get to the point where it's like, okay, listen, like, we all basically hate each other. Mm-hmm. However, there's one person who doesn't hate anybody, and that's Roz. And that's why
she's the only reason why you're all even still alive right now.
And she's just like in the corner, like broken, and
like basically just like I need to go into like a recharge period for a period of time. Yeah. You guys just be cool, and when I wake up, as long as you guys are in here, just be cool.
Yeah,
and we just gotta make it through the winter.
Yeah, because that was like basically her request or wish to like to all of them is be like, just be kind to each other right now until the winter's gone, which. Yeah, and there's like there's a big, emotional, speech. But yeah, and then spring eventually does actually come around, and where she's like covered in like moss and leaves and stuff like that, and it's just, I was like, at first I was just like, wait, hold on, did they like just kill her off? And I'm like, but then she starts moving. I'm like, okay, all right, we're good. So I was like, that would have been terrible.
It's like, damn, she's just been there waiting.
Yeah, he just waits and then just shuts down. I'm like, oh man. But no, I was like, okay, we're good. But yeah, spring comes around and she's like, ooh, you know what that means? Brightbill's gonna come around because they're gone all winter. So goes back to the field where she, I guess, originally was running with like the geese and let him go.
Yeah, where they initially took off from.
Yeah. So they do come back, and Fink's the one who actually greets him first, Brightbill. And then
Roz is kind of just like looking out from like the edge of the forest.
Yeah, and she's just like, oh well, he already found his home, and then she starts walking away.
Yeah, like, okay, now I need to actually go for real now this time, and sends out that signal.
Yeah.
And apparently she did send out that signal a little earlier, but then she cut it.
Then she cut it.
And then she started it again, and they're like, oh, okay. back at the home base. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, there's a unit sending out a return signal. We gotta go collect that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. Like a distress distress signal.
Just like a return,
yeah,
like a
return
recall button, you know.
Because I think she has it, and then she kind of like pushes it back down, or something like that. And then, yeah, because then she goes back home, and then that when Bright Bill comes back.
Starting to look for her, and then that's when
Yeah.
the big old ship arrives.
That's right. Because then she's like, oh well, I guess I did really press the return button, so sure.
And
It starts going up with the
tractor, kind of like tractor
beam, and then that's when Bright Bill shows up, and he's just like, wait a second. And then
I
Roz
forgot my something unit in the
Yeah.
thing over there. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
And then the like droid that they sent out was just like, you lying to me.
Yeah, basically.
I need to study you guys. Like, there's something going on with you that we really need to like just completely study and then wipe you, and then you can go back into rotation.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
basically clear
robot stuff.
Clear the memory of everything you've been through. You start fresh. Basically, factory reset.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, and Roz is like, how about no?
Pretty much.
I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, there's a big, I guess, another big chase scene.
Yeah, big chase scene.
And that's when more guns come out.
Big battle scene also.
So they're basically trying to track her down, but they're like, okay, well, you know what? She's not going to listen. Take out the big guns, literally. And so they start getting these big battle droids, basically, with like, I guess like
cannons, basically.
Yeah, plasma guns or something like that.
And then,
but then the animals fight back.
Yeah, and the animals actually start to take out some of these big old droids. And then once that's not working anymore, the droid on the ship is just like, okay, let's just blow up the droids, start a fire in the forest, and yeah, we're just gonna take Roz.
Yeah, which does happen. Which I'm like, actually, yeah. And then the animals look back and their whole
home is just starting to catch fire.
The whole forest is on fire. They go, it's bad. And then that's when we go back to the beaver.
The beaver.
And they're like, hey, so
hey man, we're really interested in this project you've been working on about trying to knock over this tree.
Yeah.
Because it turns out that this tree, if we knock it over, can divert the river into the burning forest that's slowly creeping up more and more into our home.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna help you.
Yeah. He goes, first you gotta say that I'm sorry. And everybody goes, okay, yeah, we're sorry.
And you gotta say that I'm cool. And you gotta mean it.
And you gotta mean it.
And Fink's just like, do I have to? Everyone's like, Fink!
Come on.
It's like, oh my god, fine.
Yeah, so that happens. And eventually the biggest tree does fall down. And it does have like the wires goes like that. But before that happens is Bright Bill sees Roz being taken up, all defeated and stuff, and like locked up, and he flies with his flock, I guess you could say.
Yeah, trying to provide like some sort of distraction, and he basically breaks into
the ship. And at first, like the robot's like, it's just a bird. Okay,
right,
whatever. And so then he goes over, kind of like, I guess like snaps out the wires. I think he does, or something like that.
They essentially find like Roz, after like everything's starting to be wiped from her. You kind of get that scene of her trying to like keep her memories, but the droid's like, no, you're not gonna keep nothing.
Yeah. But then the one thing that does keep her like as Roz is that Bright Bill goes over and he nestles
like right on this like shoulder area,
and that was like the exact spot where he originally, like when he was like
a little tiny
like a hatchling,
little gooseling,
a little gooseling, and that kind of like I guess triggers the memory and back up again. Hey, there you go, and that's where the big bonding moment of just like just basically just mother son relationship kind of comes into play, and then the evil droid, I guess, tries to stop them, but then eventually Roz basically uses her detachable hand which it's a robot, so
nice to have.
And basically uses like the magnetic thing, just and it like crushes the
droid into like the ceiling.
Yeah,
and the droid's just like, oh, you can stop me, but we'll never stop coming after you.
Yeah, pretty much. Not ominous at all.
Yeah.
And then they fly out of the ship. The ship explodes. Animals are all happy. Yahoo! You're back. And then she goes, yeah, I'm back. Glad that you guys are all safe. I'm going to go back now.
Yeah.
Everybody goes, what?
After everything we did, we
after
fought
all
so
this?
hard.
Yeah, after all this.
But in the end, it didn't even matter.
What I've done. Just do all the Linkin Park references.
All the Linkin Park references, yeah. And essentially, Roz is like, all right, look, I'm going to find a way to come back to you guys. Just for now, you guys just keep on doing what you've been doing, looking after each other. And one day, she'll try and find a way to get back with all the wild things are.
That was good. That was good. Yeah, man. Yeah, I guess like I think it's the last scene where Bright Bill flies to that same enclosure where it's all like the whole like fields and crops and stuff, and that's where he's like are you actually Roz? And she actually
Picks him up,
and he's like what's like I am Roz and blah 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 blah, blah. And it's like but you can just call me Roz, and that's when the movie ends. I think so. Reunion. But yeah, it's a great film. And this obviously, this is just summary, so just some points from here and there. There's also tons and tons of character growth and like all the small details and things like that.
Yeah, there's little stories going on there and there.
But we'll go into our facts segment.
We have some facts for you.
Some fantastic facts. So here we go. First one is, since this is also another book adaptation.
Oh yeah, another book
like I said in the last episode. Book adaptation.
Successful book adaptation, which is becoming more and more rare.
Yeah, it is actually, yeah. But the ones that are like this one,
really good.
Wow, phenomenal! Who knew?
Yeah.
So the first one, according to the author Peter Brown, the inspiration for The Wild Robot came from a sketch he did of a robot in a tree. He then asked the question, what would an intelligent robot do in the wilderness? So basically just came from like one little simple sketch. Yeah. Pretty much. It's like, I'm going to make that into a big story.
Yeah. See what happens.
That's really cool. It's basically what happened with The Hobbit. So, because Dolan's like, in a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit. And he's like, I wonder what's a hobbit?
What's a hobbit?
And then,
and then just years upon years of lore.
Yeah, pretty much. Another one here. The robot's name is Rosm, shortened to Roz. The author of the book the movie is based on has written that this is a nod to a 1920 sci-fi stage play called Rosm's Universal Robots.
Wow.
Written by a Czech writer Karel Čapek, where Čapek and his brother introduced the word robot into the English language.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's the OG origin of the word
of robot.
Bot.
Isn't that cool?
That's actually a really cool detail.
Yeah, I was just like, whoa, that went way far back. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. I thought it was really cool anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Thunderbolt the Falcon actually was not in the original novel, so they kind of just added that, and I'm like,
cool addition though.
I think they did a really good job adding it because it just added to the extra process of the training, that push that he needed.
Yeah.
So
and also kind of, I think the showing of like what a mother is willing to do and how far she's willing to go to like help her kid basically to succeed.
Yeah, because it's like, oh well, these people don't want.
I don't know how to fly.
Okay,
we don't know anybody who knows how to fly, but we can talk to the one guy who
really
is probably really good at it.
So that's pretty cool. The movie is dedicated to the memory of Sean Sellers, a DreamWorks Animation employee who had died just 4 months before the film's release.
Oh, dang.
So
that's what all these movies
like,
and people are.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, oh no, 4 months before the film release. I was like, oh. Which I'm guessing, like, if he's an animation employee, he probably was part of like the whole process. So I guess, like, in a way, he kind of saw the whole movie, but like, man, it would have been like.
See it like all done and completed.
Yeah, but I mean, it's nice that it's dedicated to him, so that's pretty cool. The fox noises made by Fink were created from recordings of actual foxes owned by the Minnesota Rescue and YouTube channel Save a Fox.
Thank you, Minnesota.
Check that channel out, Save a Fox, because it's a YouTube channel. So I'm like,
hey.
I love foxes.
Give them a look on Save the Fox.
Save the Fox. I'm like, if I had my own home, not because like we're in an apartment, so obviously we can't bring a fox in. So
fox would be cool.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like they just need land to
space.
Yeah, they need space. But basically, because I keep telling my wife that like if we ever have a house, I'm like, if I could get a fox as a pet, that would be pretty sick. Cool. Because I just love fox.
feel like I did see something about that like some years back where people were trying to like domesticate some foxes.
Yeah, I've seen a few of them. Yeah, and they're actually like in the home and everything. Yeah. It's really cool. I'm like, jealous.
To this day, well, we no longer have to ask what the fox says.
Now we know.
We do know.
It's
It just sounds like Pedro Pascal.
just him.
It's just Pedro Pascal.
It's just Pedro. Another one is among Razum's greetings, she does, like, hello, konnichiwa, in all the languages. There's Hojambo, which is a greeting in the Swahili language, which is the national language of Kenya, and one of the languages spoken by the voice actress Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah, I actually did remember that one because when I was in school, there was like all these different greetings in like a bunch of different languages. Hojambo was one that always stuck out to me.
Oh.
I was like, oh, I do know that one.
It's a fun name, Hojambo.
Yeah.
It's just just friendly, Hojambo.
And it's just really cool to kind of see a little bit more of that expansive inclusion.
I feel like it would make sense too for like a
a
robot to have it, and all these different you speak this language. Okay, then
try to communicate to as many people as possible. Absolutely. Yeah.
This is actually Lupita Nyong'o's first time voice acting in a feature-length film that's animated. So
she did really good.
She did very well.
Because I didn't even recognize that was her. And I have seen her like in a few projects.
She was another.
Yeah, Black Panther.
Oh yeah, that's why.
That was kind of like one of the bigger ones. Yeah.
Okay.
She was in Us.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was her. And there was another movie that she was in. I'm just like blanking out on. The coffee hasn't quite kicked in for me just yet.
But yeah, first time voice acting for an animated film. So
really good. Excited to see if she pursues it further. Yeah.
I would say so. The robot that Roz speaks with in the cave is Razum 6262, and this is basically a little nod to Lilo and Stitch 2002, because the experiment is 626.
So,
I thought that was pretty cool. And just that's nice. Little Easter egg there. So
one little egg here.
The Center for Fiction awarded the Wild Robot with its on-screen award in the December of 2024. So basically, it got awarded. And I'm like, yeah, it better be.
and he's gonna need a few more. Give me a longer list.
Just a few more. Another tie-in with Lilo and Stitch again.
Oh, really?
The plot for this movie follows an android interacting with animals rather than humans. Coincidentally, the original plot for Chris Sanders' directorial debut of Lilo and Stitch involved the alien crash landing in Hawaii and interacting with only humans and not
I guess
animals.
that is very.
So it's kind of like a flip, I guess.
Oh, it is actually pretty similar if you think about it that way.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, okay, you can see that.
It's just coming at it like more like Lilo and Stitch was like a pet trying to interact with like humans and stuff, and this one's more like a maternal figure. It became a maternal figure, right? Interacting with animals.
So this is a crazy one here.
Oh, okay.
So Roz's serial number is 7134.
Okay.
This in pager, I guess pager, pager speak is Heil, which in German means unscathed or whole. Oh. So I was like, that's pretty cool. A reference to the fact that she survived the crash, basically.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm like, okay, unscathed, whole. And I'm like, okay, that's that would make sense, I guess. Even though she's all like dented. And,
she gets a little bit like over time, but she did crash and survived, basically brand new.
Yeah, and I think it's crazy where it's like they put like so much detail into like all these
weird little
tiny
little details. Kind of cool. Yeah.
I just thought it was pretty cool. And then at last, I'll say this last one here because the music was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, the music was really good.
Is that John Powell, who actually made the music for How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh wow!
Mm-hmm. He's the composer for that. He actually turned down the role as composer because of scheduling conflicts, and he was replaced with Chris Bowers, who did a phenomenal job. Anyway, so Chris Bowers, good job, because that was a great soundtrack.
I wonder what else he's done.
I don't know. I haven't checked it out yet. Yeah. But John Powell is the guy who does How to Train Your Dragon and other DreamWorks stuff. Because I remember he did Shrek as well. He did all the Shrek stuff.
Whoa! Yeah, damn. Okay, he's an OG.
All the way back. But that's basically all I had for my facts. I feel like they're pretty cool facts. I would say it's just more highlighted towards it's just a great movie
Oh, it's a phenomenal movie. Hell yeah.
from start to finish.
Yeah. Again, it was like a whole sleeper for me. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was.
Yeah.
I was kind of just watching it simply because I think it was either you guys or somebody recommended it to me.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I was watching it with my sister.
Yeah.
I think my sister also just really wanted to watch it too.
Yeah. So, do you actually? You know what? Let's go into reviews. Well, ratings, I should say. Ratings.
Right.
1 out of 10. How good is it? And 3 reasons why it's amazing.
3 reasons why it's amazing. I don't really think I have any issues with it. I think I'm gonna have to give it a 10 out of 10 because I don't have it. It's a really good movie.
It's a really good movie.
I don't really have any critiques.
Well, I don't think so. I don't think I do either.
What would you have to critique about?
No, that's what I'm saying.
The cast is phenomenal. The music is incredible. The story is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Animation is superb.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think the animation really stuck out to me as opposed to like a lot of the modern day animation styles. It almost kind of had like it did kind of have like a storybook quality to it almost.
A little bit, yeah. Because it's not like, oh, everything needs to be super in depth. It's like, you don't need to have that. And I think that was the unique side of that movie. It was like, not every blade of grass needs to be highlighted.
No, it's just like I don't know. There was something about the way it looked throughout the whole film.
Yeah.
It did kind of feel like you were looking at pages in a book.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Do you have like a top 3 reason of why it's a 10 out of 10, or is it just like everything?
It's so yes. Great cast. Good music. Awesome story. I think that's my 3.
There you go. Okay.
Well, I don't know. Like specifically, I couldn't really pin down any one thing, other than like Pedro's thing was really good. I really loved Lupita doing her thing on Roz was great. The cameo, well, not even cameos, just like having Mark Hamill and Bill Nye and Matt Berry,
all in the same movie.
All in the same movie.
Incredible.
Yeah, it was just one of those things where, like, as I'm watching the movie, I was just like very happy and surprised.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't give a lot of movies 10 out of 10, but I think it's probably I'm gonna have to agree with you.
Yeah.
Because like I'm trying to think of like
there,
what would there be to like be like actually.
What would I be docking points from here? Nothing.
Why
really.
would I do that?
Yeah, it's a 10 out of 10.
Because we're talking about the movie the whole time being like they did amazing with this, they did amazing with that.
Yeah.
It's just like because it's a great movie.
It's just a really good movie.
We're like a movie. And it's like it was like, man, like for me it's like I think I was tearing up. I forget which ones it was. It was like when Brett Bill was like leaving her basically.
Yeah,
for the
that
flock.
first. Yeah.
That was pretty like sad moment, and then when she's basically kind of like defending herself with the animals, she's like, "I am a wild robot."
Yeah.
And it's just like
there was a lot of little emotional moments like that. That you
like
kind of
little moments like that. It's just like, oh yeah, good moments.
Good stuff.
So I would say a good 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's very, very incredible.
I don't think there's any reason not to give it that. Yeah, I think it's definitely well deserved.
So, yeah. Do you have any questions about the movie? Or
Oh
comments?
God!
If
Questions.
Not, yeah. No, comments, questions, anything
Comments,
like
questions.
that.
Golly. Who do you? Oh, what?
I was gonna say, with like the way that they did animal like mannerisms, I guess, the way that certain animals like sit or like curl down, and like everything was just like super accurate. Like I always loved it when they have like Fink where he's like sitting down, but he's like sitting down just like how a fox does, like kind of like that, or like he's like licking his paws and like I like that because it's like sure he can like talk and interact, but he still like kind of has the little twitches of like animals. I'm like I don't know, something about that is just like really cool.
Yeah, I think if I saw something where like the foxes actually use like the tail for keeping themselves warm.
Yeah, because it's like
it's
like
big,
super bushy. Yeah,
I don't know if it was like foxes or
it would make sense. If it's
it would have made sense. Yeah.
Foxes or like wolves probably.
Something else with like a large bushy tail like that makes sense.
I think it would make sense for foxes.
I guess I would have something. So if you could add in like a little bonus scene of like a celebrity cameo of somebody,
like a voice actor.
Yeah, like who? What celebrity would you pick? and what animal would they be?
Oh, okay. Are you gonna answer that one too? Like,
I'll start thinking about something too.
Okay, I'll do. Man, you put me on the spot.
I know. I just thought about it. I was like, "Ooh, that's a great
okay.
question." I don't have an answer right now, but I think it's a good question.
So, okay, celebrity voice actor. What animal? Okay, I'm gonna go with Ian McKellen.
Oh, okay.
And I'll have him be an owl.
I like that. Yeah, that would be really cool.
Because he has. I mean, I'm trying to correlate like kind of like an older voice, right? So I'm like, okay, older voice. Owl probably has the whole wisdom and stuff like that. So I'm like, and then I think where I would
just
put
says
him,
left it like, you shall not pass without paying a tax. Without that little something, yeah.
I think I would put him in the sequence where Bright Bill's training with Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
And he kind of just gives pointers.
Oh, kind of like the old man in the. Oh, if that's the case, then I'll probably have Patrick Stewart as like another bird, and it's just like those two like looking at.
Oh yeah. Like, oh, are you like supposed to do this? Yeah. No, he didn't do that turn right. I'm like, you couldn't do any better. And then they just like bicker back and forth. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
That
just two old owls.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that's incredible. DreamWorks, you know what to do.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna be the extended edition of Wild Robot. That would be so funny.
Oh god.
It's just in one little scene.
Yeah, just one little give me like a 15-second snippet.
Or you could put them in like different spots in the film too, where it's like true. Maybe they spot them first and they go, "Oh, that's not going to last long," and then they get in.
Give me 1 minute of them just kind of like through the training montage, like something
forth.
Towards the end.
Yeah. At the very end, it's just like, well, they proved us wrong.
I believed in him from the beginning. You were the one who was being all negative. No, that was
the one who did no. And it just like fades out. Because I couldn't think of any questions myself, but I think that's a good one. So.
Yes.
I think
the coffee's kicking in, y'all.
We got it. We're back. Yeah, I think that's good for Wild Robot.
Hell yeah.
I feel like that. Definitely watch the movie. I know
if you haven't already, I don't know why you're here.
Yeah. But
thank you for showing up.
We're here to tell you, watch it.
Watch the movie.
Watch the movie. It's really good. And for me, whenever it's on DVD, or whenever I can find it on DVD, I'll get it because I like collecting stuff like that. And I think it's on Netflix.
Oh yeah, it's on Netflix right now.
Yeah, okay. So it is on streaming platforms.
Yeah.
So go check it out because it's incredible. And I think that's all we got for this one, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Wild Robot dried out.
Yeah.
As we say in Drinking Dried terms.
Do we say that?
We do.
Every time?
I mean, we've probably forgotten a few times.
We have forgotten a few times.
But I remember that was our
thing. That was our
bit. Whenever we finished a movie, it's dried out.
It's all dried.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely all dried too. I just finished my coffee.
I got a little bit left. Ooh. But check us out. The rest of the channel. It's all like older stuff. But I mean, hey.
If you want if you want us to revisit some older stuff, maybe do like a revamped.
Yeah, like a remaster.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Any other films you would like for us to check out also and talk about?
Mm-hmm.
Just do the things in the comments.
Yeah. Pretty much just like, comment, and subscribe.
The
top 3.
The top 3. That's what we need. The bell icon.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And anything so we could appease the eldritch god that is YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's always fun.
Listen, we're behind on a lot of payments, so we really need to.
That's true.
We really need to get back on that.
But yeah, if you guys want us to, pretty much cover an older episode or a new, film that we haven't covered yet. Yeah, absolutely. We're definitely open to cover a lot of movies because
we're open to your suggestions.
Yeah. So, and let us know what we're doing wrong.
Probably a lot, but tell us anyway.
But we're here for the good times.
Yes.
So, yeah. I think with that, that's it.
We're done? So, we're done, yeah.
Okay, a Jumbo. No, just kidding.
A jump? Well, no, that's hello, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Bye, Jumbo.
Yep.
We'll see you in
the next one.
Goodbye. Salutations.
Salutations, and hasta la vista, baby.